Welcome to our coverage of Creaks, a puzzle platformer game by Amanita Design, the studio in the Czech Republic, best known for a whole series of point-and-click adventures. This is, I think, their first effort at the side-scrolling platform genre, but I believe it is still a game that's fairly puzzle-oriented. More than that, I don't really know. We're going in pretty much entirely blind. So, let's see what this is all about. Well, we've hit new game here. I think... okay, yeah, we can just watch the transition from the opening titles. Both the D-pad and the stick work just fine. For movement, up and down, manipulate the camera, which is interesting. And we'll just go through the basic action tutorial here as we adjust the light bulb. And see what else we can do. Yeah, not much to interact with just yet. Let's just follow along and get thrown into the experience. Okay, might as well just tear down this wall, or, well, put it back up, I guess. And try as we might, we're not going to be returning to work without distraction. Okay, that's inauspicious, but something was sure to get underway. Okay, it looks like we've discovered an entire secret passage. I would guess this is the only way we can go. After fetching a bit of lighting. Yeah, we actually cannot go left here. No way but forward. Right, might as well crawl our way in. See what awaits us below. Yeah, X will be skip cutscene, I believe. We won't do that. This is my first time seeing any of this, so... Looks like the drop test confirms that all of this goes quite a ways down. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Let's check to see if there's anything up here. Nope. Pretty straightforward so far. As we're shown our full range of movement. And down we go. Deep into the caverns. Surprisingly stable ladder, considering that it's going to go all the way down to this entire subterranean civilization that's under my apartment for some reason. Well, might as well just head down and see what this is all about. Looks like I can't land anywhere just yet until we head up to this floor. Now we can actually freely explore. Well, not freely yet. We just have to follow this linear course until we're introduced to more mechanics, I think, such as jumping over cracks. That's rather important. I kind of wonder if I can go anywhere else just yet. I doubt it. This just takes you all the way back up. So yeah, still basically in the mechanics tutorial here. And let's go up the ladder. Can we go further up? Yes, we can. And why would I want to do that? No reason yet. Okay. And, yeah, we just need to work out this entire maze by the looks of it. Very tangled layout, but we'll eventually figure out something about it. Loose end here, not really interactive yet. Let's just weave our way around. We can drop in there eventually. I would like to check the top side first. Interesting that these tools that look like wrenches seem to just wiggle by themselves. Alright, down we go. So we know we can drop through the holes. We know we can go forward. I wonder if we can drop through this one. Nope. And now we have a choice. Okay, great. Except this is a dead end. It's just showing you that you do have a choice. And that is one way. We can't climb back up. Yeah, we'd better climb up here before anything really perilous happens. Alright. Somebody heavy is... Right, I was moving something heavy upstairs. Let's take a look. No, we can just go down. We can't actually go into the shaded area just yet. We don't really have a cross-section of what's going on there. Alright, forward, and... Lots of creaking in this game? Yeah, that's very true. Very appropriate title so far. Look at all these socks and pants, too, that are just hanging up here. It really doesn't look like this guy is wearing the socks. Oh, that's like a robot attack dog. I think that's what it is. I wonder if I can drop down directly. I feel like that would be a bad idea. Yes, we can. That's a bad idea. Let's... totally get mobbed. I was going to jump over that crack. That did not quite work. However, if I do jump off that crack, I wonder if I can lead him into the crack. And... oh, he doesn't do anything. He just kind of barks in the location. And we are dead, apparently. That's okay. We'll just lure him over there and go up. We can't go up. Oh, no. I wonder if I could have come behind this guy and pushed him, actually. I'm going to try that. I was surprised that I couldn't go up the broken ladder that's to his left, but... Also, I'm very glad that the fail conditions in this game are not really gory. Whoops. Okay, no, he just turns around and bombs me once again. Okay. Let's try going down first. Oh, also, he's standing on top of... oh, no, I'm supposed to go down the ladder. Okay, no, I see now, looking at the artwork, what's going on. I was trying to go up the ladder where it goes nowhere. And just to see if I can poke around it a bit, but that's not what you do. What you do instead is you go down. Also, given the control scheme and the fact that you go down plus action to just go down a ledge off the side, I'm finding it easier to play with stick with this game, which is unusual for me, but I think matches the pacing as well as the artwork. Not really doing precision platforming here. Might as well just drive in a more fluid fashion. Okay, here's another dog. As we can see, this is walled off over here, so I can't just go directly. However, I am able to get out. Yes. Lure him over. Maybe drop in down here. Do I need to get within range? Yep. Okay. Same idea, and then we go up. So some of these things are time sensitive. We do need to pay attention to execution from time to time. Now what does this do? That raises the gate, and then now that allows me to jump over. Can I lower it again? Yes, I can. Okay, so that's going to be a two-way interaction. We'll keep that in mind. And do I really have to drop in directly? No, that's not it. That's much too close, as you can see. So we have reset to before this whole interaction. We'll just do this whole sequence again. Have to pull this guy. Might be a more graceful way to drop back down, probably just from behind. Lure him over. Yeah, just figuring out the ranges for getting his attention. I do have to drop behind him, and then... oh, he is facing the left right now, which is good, because it means I can jump over and go down. Okay, things are still creaking. Now what happened over here? I can peek ahead, and I can see another attack dog that will have some kind of interaction with the light. Just watching this right now, nothing's happening yet, it just allows me to scout ahead to the next room. Okay, so we'll just keep that in mind for when we eventually go down there. In the meantime, let's just evade a couple more attack dogs. This can be raised or lowered. I think the idea will be to lower it. Oh, also because it's a pulley system, I think. So if you lower one, you raise the other one. Which is important because it will allow me to trap the dog, I think. If we pull it. Then I can trap it over here. Seems to be a doggo gang game. Well, so far, I mean... They are the enemy, though. As they usually are. Okay. That was unexpected. Everything has trapped me once again, but it does mean that... Well, first of all, that looks threatening. Given how precariously this entire structure is built underground, I think that big guy is just going to knock everything over at some point, or threaten to. Anyway, so these story gating mechanisms do just close off backtracking once you're past certain puzzles. That seems to work just fine. So anyway, that guy's drawn towards the light. I can't really do anything here, though. The kite looks like it will be relevant. Yeah, let's drop down, actually. And I can drop down further to open up that chest. Can't really reach anything from here yet, so... So I can climb this. I can also move it. Which is important because it means I'll be able to get up here, and I cannot reach the kite, so never mind. But I can reach the ladder. Whoops. Yeah, basically Zelda-style controls. You grip the thing first, and then you push and pull. All with the same action button. Alright, let's head upstairs, and... Now what do we have? Now we have this guy... stopping. That's interesting. That's very new, in fact. So, is he afraid of the light, or is something else happening here? We'll find out in just a moment. Yeah, light's out, so now this guy is free to move in. Well, that's awkward. Okay, so we know that they are averse to light. That's important to know. We have to pull both of these guys over. Let's do that quickly. Yeah, I just need to get them in an alert state. Yeah, you can see that the animation has several stages. He's alert, but he's not chasing, which is interesting. Yeah, red light. That means he's going to chase. I'm totally trapped. That seems like a terrible idea, and yeah, we just get our leg ripped off. Okay, so that's not going to be it. But I think that's because we were just standing too close to that guy to begin with. We dropped directly on the left side. Yeah, you have to stand quite close. Oh, you can just jump across. Okay. That's not going to help until I pull this guy as well, so we will probably have to repeat this. Because the idea is I wanted to drop down low, pull the second one, go back up the steps, and then have both of them facing right. I mean, we're still just sort of in the introductory phases of learning what the whole rule set is going to be. So, do they run into each other? They do stop against each other. We'll get a better sense later of what the exact rules behind that interaction are going to be, but turning on the light is going to be useful here. You do have to read the artwork quite carefully in some respects. Looks like we'll also have to drag some furniture over here to go upstairs. But first, let's see which panel this controls. That just lowers the drawbridge. Yeah, this guy... Can I get over here fast enough to lead him over? Yes, but that doesn't actually help. I need to bring him over to the light, I think. Either that, or... well, I don't have the opportunity to drop in just yet. We need to just outpace him. Luckily, the walking speed is pretty good in terms of being able to do all that. What happens if I... what happens if I draw him into the light and then turn off the light? Because the dog is afraid of the light, but we don't know why it has such a problem with it. And so the idea should be that I should shine the light on top of it and see if that just zaps it or something. Okay, luckily, not very fast, like I said. He's gonna go all the way here, then we get a light bulb on, and it turns it into a cabinet. Now that's interesting. I love how the music rewards me all of a sudden by saying, haha, now we're making progress. I just want to go for it here to see if there's anything else that we can do with that just yet. Because that is a really interesting interaction. Oh, no, didn't want to go up here yet, actually. I wanted to check the previous location. Can I go back down? Yes, I can. And will it retain everything in the state I left it? Pretty much. Alright, let's go up. Interestingly, the fact that we can go back up does imply that there is a little bit of branching and non-linearity here in terms of where we can go. Oh, okay, so this lets it go down. This actually feels like... oh, you see, we need to make that usual determination whether we're dealing with the main route or a side road. But we should maybe figure that out. Let's just stop here first before we go forward. Ah, okay, painting. What is this all about? Flying a kite. Also, we can pull on this. And what does it do? Starts a bit of an animation. And everything's just going to retract and cycle through this. Okay. I don't know what that tells me yet, but I don't want to go down just yet because it's a bit of a one-way route and I want to check the other pathway before I continue. Yeah. Dogs are out in force again. Up here, however, this one is still a cabinet. Now here's a question. Can I push the cabinet out of the light? And will it just turn into a dog, or... Yes, it will. Okay, so we have to be careful with that. That if we push the cabinet has to remain within the light, or we get into some problems. So yeah, let's push this back into position for now. I'm sure that's going to be a critical puzzle interaction later on, but not yet. At least we are prepared for it when it does happen. So yeah, here... Ah, okay, we can't actually go anywhere yet. This is something that will... Oh, this was the way back down when we were kind of locked in. Yeah, so that's actually just backtracking to what we were doing originally, I think. Right, because this was where we went down to fetch the kite. Alright, let's continue with the next location then. Cabinet doggos? Yeah, exactly. Has some pretty interesting implications. I think in general it just improves the species, gives them some added utility. Still don't really know what this kite clue is yet, but I'm sure we'll just have to figure that out as we go. Yeah, no new insight yet. We'll just have to think about that and resolve the mystery eventually. Okay, notice that light isn't shining through here just yet. I have no way but forward, so I'm sure I'm going to learn something new here. Am I going to learn something new here? Yes, because this looks like it's connected to the light. There we go. So once again, we have something that's timing dependent now. Let's make sure I can actually hit this switch reliably. Oh, I see. I was pushing the stick towards it. You don't want to do that because that just looks up. So this is just showing you that timing will matter. Okay. Let's move on over here. We will need some additional lights in order to just flood this whole zone here. Also, let's take a look at this light. Yeah, so what's going to happen is that I drag this out, I let the dog run over it. Oh, no. It transforms immediately. Okay, there's no lag time or anything. It seemed like I was given the opportunity to do that slightly earlier before, but I think the idea now then is to position the light such that we use the light switch to reactivate the dog. And once we use the light switch to reactivate the dog, so we push this in, and then we let it chase us. Yeah, I was misled a little bit by the fact that previously I was able to push the dog slightly out of position into dog form and get away with it in the top section, but that's because I was pushing it out of the light, and so the light was protecting me. And so if I'm standing in darkness, then the dog is able to just attack me directly as soon as it's also back in dog form. So that's something that we'll have to keep in mind. Yeah, so this way I don't need to worry about timing. I can just lead the dog all the way over here to the pool of light and then zap it. So here's how it's going to go. We're going to transform this and come all the way back here. And then we get this in position for the next set of steps. Really enjoyed the sound design of this so far. Very subtle success chime as we listen to that blend with the music once we solve a puzzle. Okay, tripping over that, and then we fall, and then we get attacked, and somebody else is turning on the lights for me. Okay, that's fine. I'll take that. We have to watch the wiring pattern here. The wiring pattern is going to show me where the light switches are connected. And that's rather important, so we'll get back up here and continue. Looks like I should be able to beat it on the way up. And okay, so here's a panel. Interesting how it shows you how the panel works as you reach for the cabinet. And then we proceed. So yeah, I couldn't quite tell which panel, or rather which lamp this was going to activate in advance, whereas with the light switches I could kind of see the wiring. But at least we do have an opportunity here to just check that. So here, I think I will be leading the lower lights, and then I need to lead this dog over to the steps, because the upper dog is going to step on the switch and turn the lower one into a cabinet, so... Yeah, watch this. Oh, bad idea. I was going to go down the stairs. That was just an accuracy issue here. I knew how that was going to go. I just missed the input to go down the steps. Oh, whoops. Okay. Do need to go just a little bit faster. And also freeze the lower one in position if I can. Nope, still too close. We just need to get a little bit ahead. It's purely a timing issue, I think, right now. I think the solution is fine. Okay, now is he going to stay in position, or is he going to eventually revert? Well, I want to lead this guy back, so I can take that. Then we push this and go up. I could have also skipped across just now. And I didn't try that, so I don't know what's on the right side there, but we'll keep that in mind in case we need to backtrack later. Okay, so now we can use this to trap them now. Does this control anything other than the left panel? Yes, it controls both. Looks like the guy down there is probably going to be our destination. what I want to do is I want to get both dogs in position in the center. And then I probably want to trap them there. But before I do that, I want to get the ones that are in the bottom in position as well. So the question is, what do I use these for? I mean, we will want to eventually trap both in the center, but then the question is, am I still safe to go anywhere if so? Because there is going to be a certain order that we need here. Otherwise, if I don't have both pools of light available, I can't actually make it up through the steps. I need to activate these two simultaneously, and then go through the center steps. And the way I will do that is this. So if we trap one in the center, then how do we access the other one? I think the strong implication is that I need to grab this guy first. Yeah, because we do need them to hit the switches for me. Let's see if it actually goes back into a separate position. Because if it's going back here, then the idea will be that I lure both of these guys to the center. Okay. And then am I able to go up? Yes. Yeah, I do need to hit the button in order to drop off the stepladder. We didn't actually end up doing anything with the skeleton guy. Maybe he's just a local resident. Well, it looks like we're going to have a little bit of stealth here. Yeah, I actually kind of wonder, everything's out of position now, so it's not like I can just go back down without being devoured. So, didn't think about interacting with a skeleton, actually. As I thought about it earlier, but I didn't bother to even try the input since we were doing everything rather quickly. Now look at this. There's this empty panel on the right side. Looks like we will want to lead this dog over to the left side and then lead him back to the stairs. So yeah, you lead him like this. Then you lead him like this. Okay. And then up we go. Looks like we have another piece of art here. Now, what's this all about? I can keep turning it. And I can interact with it. Oh, okay. It's like a little miniature platformer. That's sort of interesting. It's like a mechanical prototype of a platforming game. Well, what happens if I pass all of this? I didn't think about the different interactions that I could have done with the kite game earlier either. So let's see what happens here. Let's not jump on a porcupine. Well, your princess is in another castle. Okay, that's neat. Don't know what it's telling me, but maybe just a bit of extra flavor about what people do in this world. It is a nice little Mario game. Okay, so no way but down right now. We do need to drop in and then figure out what to do with the panel. So this is all that it seems to affect right now. We can drop to the lower level, and that would allow me to turn on some lamps, including, so the right side switch is tied to the lamp on the left side. That would allow me to transform the dog. And then the other switch... Oh, the panel is the switch that... if you watch the cables here, the panel is the switch that is tied to the light on the top level. And you got a middle level light here, which is interesting because it implies that if you turn on this lamp and then you raise this, then you're able to get a lamp on in the center position down below. And that looks like it's something that will be useful eventually. So we need to turn this on first. And we cannot just move this here until we have a way to also be safe in this location, which right now is not the case. However, if we flood this light here, we might be able to do that. So for example, we do this, and then I turn off the switch such that we manipulate this guy. I think I do need to probably, yeah, push him through like this. So here's the question now, is how do I sustain any of these switches? Oh, because with the pool that's active here, I'm able to just get the dog to sit directly on this panel. The way I do that is by blocking the light and by leading him over. Oh yeah, he's just going to revert to that position and sit tight, and we are through. Okay, same idea. We can't really do anything with that guy just yet until we lower the drawbridges. Yeah, you can often see how some of these pulleys are cabled as well. So the question now is, am I able to lead it over to the right side with anything? Feels like I need to play with some additional device. I think this is how we're going to do it. I'm going to bait this guy, and when he's done his attack animation, he's going to walk back. And if he walks back, he should go all the way to the right. And then we're able to raise the drawbridge from there, I think. Because, yeah, when he goes back to the default position, he continues, I think. No, he doesn't. Okay, never mind. However, I am able to just walk around him by dropping here, and that allows me to proceed to the right side. So let's activate him. And let's race him over. And then that allows me to interact with everything up here. First of all, am I able to just crush him? Okay, so you're not allowed to just kill him like that, apparently. Okay, you're not allowed to drop that on him. That's important to know. I am, however, allowed to open up that passage and This will probably be interesting and important in that I may be able to lead them both onto one side. Now, the way I would do that, for instance, whoops, is by raising this and trapping the left side dog on the right side if I can. So I'm not within the activation range with the one on the right. What I can do is trap, and then what do I do? I can do that. And what does that accomplish? Well, for one thing, I can run around back here, but that isn't doing much for me just yet. I'm able to get down to the lower level. I'm able to also just let this guy walk. Maybe. Yeah. If I let him walk like that, that's fine. What happens if I raise this while he's sitting on it? I can make him slide, okay. Well, that's also a new interaction. I think maybe if I bait this guy eventually, well, he's gonna walk back. I mean, we see the two switches that are on the right side. And that's the objective, is that I want to transform one of these dogs into a cabinet such that I'm able to go to the top right. That seems to be the objective right now. Now the way I do that is I would need to activate the lamp. To activate the lamp, I need to get one of the dogs into the center position. Now how would I go about doing that? I think it's that I would need to make sure I get on the right side of both dogs. So in that case, what we're going to do, I'm going to raise him once again. And then, oh, I should have actually raised this. And then I want to lead this guy over such that I can drop safely. Oh, can I drop? Yeah, there we go. Can I actually raise this now? No, because the drawbridge will pull to the right. No, I just want to get around him and get directly to the light, I think. But even better is if I'm able to activate both dogs, but that's not what we're going to do just yet. I'm just going to activate this guy, drop down. Go to the right side, let him back to the pool of light. And then drag this over. Because now I'm able to do the same series of interactions in order to get the other dog all the way over here. So here's how that's going to happen. I'm going to lower this, raise the gate, and we just lead him over. Now I drag this, and then now we just push both of these in position. That I need one to give me a step, Need one to give me a light. And yeah, then we just do the whole loop around. And then let's take a peek. If I can. Not exactly sure how to do that here. Seems to imply that I can... Oh, you know what? I can step on this. Let's drag it over. Alright, so we see that a statue on the right side. I think that's the point of observing all this. Let's just head down. Yeah, that's a really lovely clarinet line in the score. Both the soprano and the alto line, in fact. I haven't heard this much use of clarinet in a video game score in a very long time, in fact. So, can I interact with anything else here like I could with the platformer? Doesn't seem so yet. It's just another music box of sorts. So, we don't know what any of this means yet. Except for the Mario game earlier, which of course just meant the princess was in another castle. Look at that little spider, too, that's just hanging off of the building here. Okay, down we go. Looks like we can, once again, peek out another crack, see what's going on. The thing that's drawing my attention here is just the lone tree that's on the top left. But mostly I think this is just scenic. And just giving me a look at what's ahead. Okay, nowhere to go but down. Or over, I suppose. Now there's nowhere to go but down. And, okay, it looks like I default to a crawling state here. I can't actually do anything else because it's cutscene introduction. Okay, now it's time for Metroids. Or other kinds of jelly guardians. We don't know what they'll turn into, but once again, they're avoiding the light. We can see that with the one at the bottom. We do have a certain patrol pattern, so we'll just be watching the eyes once again to see if they do anything for me here. They don't seem to track me in terms of doing what the dogs did with homing in on me. They just seem to go back and forth, so we can in fact just go around them without worrying about being chased. Would be pretty sure that we're not supposed to touch them, though. So my current objective is just to go for this light switch over here. It's not a light switch, it's just a door switch. Okay, that's fine. Same idea. And then we'll sneak around. Okay, just introducing me to their patrol pattern. Nothing much else going on here with the jellyfish just yet. But then we'll see what kinds of interactions are possible now that we're moving into another distinct zone, just digging deeper and deeper. Oh, here's this guy again. If it is the same guy as earlier who was heading downstairs in his palatial residence. Okay, so he's going to operate a lift and take it downstairs even further. I guess we'll eventually follow him down, but for now, let's see what we can do over here. Looks like we can affect where the jellyfish is going to go if we manage to hit the switch that's on the central platform. Looks like also that I can drop into the central section here. Whoops. Didn't really mean to skip over like that. Well, we just need to be careful about where we point a stick. Notice, of course, that one of the things that's important about jelly here is that it is able to go across gaps. So that's something about its pattern that we do have to understand. And yeah, now we'll just follow this, take the steps down, and then wait for it to go across. And that should let me through. Okay, no problem. Except now the entire structure is rumbling. And I'm going to get hit on the head, which is not good news. Oh, okay, we got hit by a book falling off the shelf. Could be worse. Once again, when you see a jelly patrol that's obstructed by the light. Just figuring out where we'll be going next. Looks like, yeah, we stand here, then I'm going to be okay. It's not going to approach. It's going to go right up to me, in fact. Now, this is potentially important. Oh, that's interesting. That it will change layers if it is bunched up against me. Maybe. I don't exactly know what the rule set is here just yet, but it seems like if it comes to a dead stop, then its behavior is to check whether it can go up or down. You can watch the animation, in fact, that when it hits the light, it looks up, and then it looks down, and that seems to be the priority order, or how it gets anything done. So we'll keep that in mind. Given that it looks up and then down, I feel like the order probably does matter. There is a switch on the left side, but before we hit that, let's take a look at this. Well, this guy's just going to practice his instrument. Love the idea of just carving an instrument directly into the trunk without even bothering to uproot it. Let's check this side here. This is just giving you some visibility. Also look at all the kites that are flying around. That looks like it's going to be important eventually. Anyway, we have opened up that side, so now I need to manipulate the vertical position of jelly. Or just... no, we can't go across this way. Okay, that's fine. I feel like I need to... Well, I need to do that. There's no other way around it, but we can reposition a jelly by using the left side switch once I jump over the gap. And when I do that, it's going to loop around. Okay. Here's a laundry line where books are being dried. And then we'll just continue. Yeah, some of the puzzle structure actually does remind me a bit of Tokitori 2, which also has similar light and dark interactions in terms of thinking about the different ways that the creatures in the game respond to that. Okay, the lights are off, and then what happens to this guy? Well, his bedroom and reading room are just totally wrecked, unfortunately. Which is really too bad, because it seemed like he was having the time of his life. He had these lovely paintings on his wall. He's really pretty upset now. I would be too if this giant creature just decided to peel my bedroom away with a single swipe. Look at the solar system mobile here. Mobile, I guess. Thank you. Keep thinking of the pronunciation of Mobile, Alabama, which is what leads to that confusion from time to time. Okay, so we go down here, we activate the dog, we go down to steps. So now we're using the dog in combination with the jelly, so that's the purpose of this puzzle here, is just to show you that. So we activate the switch. No, he's not in position. However, if we activate the switch, then I have a safe location to land in if we need to dodge the jelly and get out of position. Notice that there is a switch that is on the right side of the dog. Notice too that, well, the dog doesn't seem to go all the way up to this part of the steps. It did. Oh, whoops, too slow. Yeah, actually, we need to probably manipulate this whole stack here just to get it out of the way. Yeah, because he's not going close enough and won't until we do a bit of object manipulation. But eventually we'll want to hit that switch that is to its right, which means that we do need to bathe the dog in a pool of light at some point in order to freeze it in position, so... Okay, so we probably want to lure the dog away from the steps that it's covering. Okay, that's interesting. As I expected, the jelly pattern is going to be up and then down, and notice the push. So I guess the idea was that I needed the jelly to do the push to get the dog all the way up to the left, and then that gives me the opportunity to zap it with the lamp. So let's keep that in mind. Let's go down here and let the jelly do its thing. Push the dog, and then we activate the light switch. Pretty straightforward so far. We just let it do the push. Kick, 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 kick. And then we transform that. Now I have access to the switch in the top right, which affects the drawbridge going right. Not much else to do here just yet. But it seems like quite a lot of other things are possible down there. Of course, now that we have activated the drawbridge, the jelly is not going to come up. However, the jelly can now come down. And I think that is the idea here, given that you can't actually cross this terrain just yet. Yeah, because you lift this, if the jelly is no longer able to go up, then it checks down as its next resort. Once it does that, it's able to come over here and push the dog out of the way. And once it pushes the dog out of the way, then it's going to stop in such a way that it's able to go up. But then, importantly, oh no. Okay, we do need to push the dog, because otherwise the dog will move back into position. However, if it's facing the dog, then the two of them collide with each other and the dog is unable to follow me. So when the jelly is tucked in the bottom left, that's when I go for the snares. Yeah, I actually didn't need to lift it, I just needed it to come back down and continue its patrol pattern this way. So it's going to push the dog to the left, and then we head straight down. Okay, success. Alright, looks like we have a more complex series of interactions now. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like we'll be trying to reposition the jelly somehow. So yeah, we can see from the cables that these just affect the lights directly above them. The point of doing that is to eventually make the jelly go up and down. My objective here will be to get to the bottom right. Seems fairly clear. Yeah, if I step on this, that's the main interaction that presents itself right now. I'm able to move the jelly out of position. And then it's able to push. And because the lamps just follow their own location, or rather light up their own location, I'm able to just do that. Now, we'll just watch its patrol pattern here. It's just going to continue going back and forth down there until it has some kind of incentive to be changing position, like when it runs into me here. It's going to check up and down. It does not go up and down the steps, it only goes up and down the clear locations that are vertically available all the way through. But that's okay, because it means that I can lead it over to the right, and then I step in that switch in order to move it through the center column now. Pattern point to center column, I need to watch in terms of how many floors it's going to ascend, as well as which direction it continues in. Let's make sure we understand the rules. So it goes up as far as it can. That's the rule. So right now we haven't activated the top switch just yet. The idea will be to make sure the jelly goes to the right. The way we do that is by moving it to the top and then outrunning it to get to the top switch to turn around and get it to push the dog on top right. So yeah, we get there just in time. And we lower both gates. And sure, let's leave the lights on for the time being. Only thing is that we will be trying to get the dog out of position, I think. I just need to move it to the gate to the left, I think. And or maybe even move it to... Yeah, no, I do need to move it to the left. I can't just trap it between the two gates, as far as I can tell. Or I get the jelly to push it to the right because of the way that switch is bound to the legs. Yeah, no, that's going to be the objective. The objective is to push the jelly down. Here's how we do it. It's going to check up. And then we stop it by trapping it in the middle completely. Then it's going to go down. When it goes down, then it's going to push the dog. There we go. Music picks up, indicating, of course, that we are on the right track. And that's it. Once we allow the jelly to do its thing here, and then cross over. Oh, except I can't cross over because I'm stuck here. Okay. Or no, I just step over this thing. That's a hole. I don't think I realized it was a hole. And all we do now is step around. Well, this guy's retreating further into his library. Seems like it is a big elevator shaft to the left side now. He's looking for something. Searching for a book. Looks like he's going to walk away dissatisfied. So let's take the lift back up and see what that does. We saw him take it down earlier, of course, but from a location that was inaccessible at the time. Very interesting map so far for a game that is a linear series of puzzles. Definitely a lot of thought put into how to make everything connect in a way that really makes this a lived-in space. Anyway, nothing to do here, but just go down and inspect the art. Looks like we do have a series of controls, once again, with this wind-up. Okay, we can just play different pitches, actually. Interesting. It doesn't map at all to the note symbols that are on the right side. Yeah, I don't know if there's a particular solution or if it's once again just another toy to play with. It does look like the dog responds to a certain sequence now. So we can just try different sequences until the dog perks up its ears. So this is first. Nope. First. Second. Third. Fourth. Oh, okay, we actually got some kind of trophy. Alright, so it looks like these paintings, or at least, or these little automata, are in some ways going to be some of the optional content in the game as well. I mean, not really able to backtrack to some of the earlier ones right now, of course. I guess I didn't get something like that for the platformer game earlier because I probably just did step on something and played it imperfectly. But who knows? Okay, I love the stained glass designs here. All the stained glass of the bird people. So, the idea should be to trap the jelly on the left side, because then it's able to go down to crack here once I shut the wall. And if it does that, then it's able to push the dog out of the way towards the right side. But before I understand any of that, I have to figure out how to raise and lower it first. Yeah, nothing yet, but I am going to probably trap it in a middle position. The issue is I don't yet know how I will get around a jelly. Okay, that's interesting. It's going to go up as usual. And then it's going to do this loop. The question is, I need to figure out how to get around it and let it to the left side. Oh, actually I do know how to do it. You let it do this loop. You stand on the right side. And then I follow it over and try to give it a trap. Problem is, I don't really have a good method of escape from that yet. Oh, except it's going to go up. That's fine. What we do is I will follow it over, shut the gate, and that will force it down. Yeah, at this point it should go down, it should push the dog, and then I'm able to make it further. Okay, pretty straightforward. Anyway, this guy's still climbing about, searching through his library, looking for a particular book. I don't think he's found what he's looking for. Might be one of the books hanging off the laundry line that we saw earlier. But maybe not. Seems too important for that. Nothing to interact with here yet. This is just a library. Okay, let's figure out what the various interactions that's going to be. A bit of a positioning tool. That requires compression. Yeah, just gonna stand here for the time being. One thing that I haven't seen yet is what happens when I shine a light directly on a jelly. Oh. It's gonna go left. Ah, yeah, because this whole thing was raised. Okay, let's just see what's possible then. Alright, currently just thinking about how this is just going to be a drop location from the row that is second from the bottom. Yeah, because it hits that switch, I don't really see what's controlling it. However, if I turn this thing off, lovely world map there. Actually, this entire thing is the map room. Everything about this room is the map room. So going to hit a light and then head over to the right side, except we need to figure out what my objective with that actually is. My objective, I think, should be to try to shine a light directly on it. And the way I can do that is by trapping it in a different cycle. Maybe, hard to say. Because it's going to go over here. Oh yeah, I should have dropped down and trapped it. Well, that's going to trap it once more. And then what should happen here is that I should follow it. Okay, that's going to create a trap. One that's going to make a move up. And now it's going to loop all the way up. Which is important because then I'm going to shine a light on top of it to see what happens once I trap it. Because we don't know what these transform into yet. Oh, that's interesting. The globe. Well, I can use it to carry some weight, of course, on top of various switching mechanisms. Okay. Functionally the same as working with the dogs, actually, that you just transform them into movable weight. Now what does this do? That's the only thing I can do. Oh, just a lift. Okay. All the way back up we go. So that's going to open and we're going to enter. It looks like the... Oh, it's I was about to say the turtle room, but no, this is actually the head of a bird if you look closely. And we're trapped inside the head of the bird. Okay. So we have a couple of choices here. We can manipulate this anywhere along the track. Also, by shining it upon the plant, I make it bloom. Which is interesting because I wonder what that interacts with. Well, if we do that, then I'm able to drop it down low. I cannot turn it into a globe, but I can try to make it interact with the fresh foliage here. No, it's just going to sulk around there and very disappointed as I try to make everything else happen here. Whoops. Oh, no, that's a mistake. First time I've been consumed by one of these guys. And just stung and electrocuted. Yep, wasn't really watching my position there. Okay, so we know how to move the light. Okay. Yeah, we were on the other side of this earlier. We know how to move the light. The interesting thing is, of course, that I'm able to apply a weight down here. Whoops. If I let the jelly across. So the thing that I want to do is I want to trap it on this location here, which means that I need to let it come down and chase me. And have it do some kind of loop to walk around. And then eventually constrain its position such that it goes left. Then I follow it up. So the way I'll do that is by letting it go first of all, and then setting it down. So now I trap it like this, and then I'm able to go over to the left. Yeah, just need to trap in a position. And that should just freeze it. Okay, down into the gullet of the bird. Now, what do we have here? Still following this guy down into the depths of his library. Oh, here's a second character now. So, the first guy is still looking for the book, the second guy is trying to tell him something about the dangers that await, perhaps. I mean, they seem to be having a miscommunication themselves, so not a big deal if we can't understand them directly either. We're not much worse off. So they're going to have their little skit, and then now we take a look at all of this. Wow. A room full of busts. Some of them are, in fact, in motion. Yeah, I could probably just do that just fine, and then interestingly, when you move a light towards the dog, it pushes. Not what I expected here. Okay, so the idea will be, eventually, that I want the light to be illuminating the dog in such a way that allows it to switch. It's going to be trapped on the left side, so that's what we'll be attempting to do, probably just by going up the steps or something. Now, if I go down with the light on the left and I fetched a dog, then... let's think about what happens. Yeah, because I want to trap the bottom dog on the left side of the light. Well, I mean, one thing I can do, of course, is just... oh yeah, once again, they're just repelled if you try to push the light into them. However, I should be able to just trap this dog. That way. Yeah, so I want the lower dog to be trapped in the bottom left, eventually. Not seeing that interaction just yet. I definitely want to lead that over. Then I can trap it on the lower level. Yeah, that's how I'm going to do it, in fact. Is you can do that. And then... okay, that pushes. That's okay, because we wanted to push. And in fact, we want to push when this guy is under the lamp. And we'll just wait for it to beat his retreat. So it loses interest. And then push through. Okay. Well, that was a great deal of damage. Now everybody's laughing at me. Well, let's inspect this first. Now, once again, not something interactive this time. No knobs on the side. No clockwork. Just a moving picture. Okay, down we go. None of that seems useful. Now, what is there to even interact with here, then? Given that I can't open up the gates. Could be something from the picture clue. Let's move... well, no, we can't pick anything up here. Let's just take a look at this one more time. Well, given that I'm trapped here, there can only be so many different possible interactions to begin with. We haven't really checked very much around the collection, but let's just see this. Okay, is this dog very recognizable as a kind of Bill Plimpton style, in fact, in terms of its mannerisms. So yeah, I can once again trap it in that location if need be. And it is once again a movable lamp as well, using this. So for example, you can push that. Now we need to figure out what the objective of this guy is going to be. It looks like it will probably be just to hit that. Just that we have access to a cabinet going somewhere. So yeah, if we want to move the dog over, well, we'll have to see how far it gets, because if I just come up here immediately afterwards, then yeah, let's think about that. Yeah, same deal as always here. Well, opening up the gate for the right side door. Ah, yes, I can just fall into the crack, in fact. Okay. Just think about how we can actually do the trap. There isn't much that I'm doing with that animated short space these days, so well, let's see here. We can pull this guy. Just run up top. Nope. It will stop. Okay, let's let the dog revert back into position. I have to think about what my objective is in the first place. Looks like it should be to go to the right side with the ladder that's tucked behind the dog in the middle row. In order to do that, best bet is probably... oh, I don't know. Yeah, nothing here is shining through. Let's let that guy through again. One thing we can do is release the top dog such that it's going to lower the central gate. So yeah, let's say I pull this guy. Okay. Do that, and then... well, I could just go over. Right, because he's just gonna step over. Ah, okay. Now we're trapped again. Alright, I think I do see the general idea. Gonna lead it over. Well, let's just admire the artwork. No interactivity with playing the instrument this time. So yeah, I guess we'll eventually see what that is all about. Well, might as well just give it a listen until the animation is somewhat over. And yeah, this switch raises and lowers the gate, which implies what about our ability to use that? So currently I don't see a good way to reposition something there. Well, I might as well play around with some of this. Yeah, I want to go where the objective isn't actually bottom right, then what is it? Let's go up. Might as well just examine everything in sight. Well, if the bottom right's not doing the trick, I mean, we want something to be holding this panel that's to the right of this wall for as long as possible. Do I actually see some of the way out for? Let's see here. Maybe much too tired to really engage with some of this properly. So you can go up and down through here. Ah, okay. Were we just able to progress through there all along, or was that? No, that was where I came from, I think. Alright, let's just monitor this closely, see what we can do. Yeah, it's actually the left side ladder, I think, that we actually want to go to, just to follow the clues over to the library. In that case, we'll need to move the dog out of the way and create some kind of passage. One way to get it out of the way is, of course, just to transform it. Well, did we interact with anything further along here? Not really. Yeah, we see the bottom right, we see the single panel. What we don't see is just some way to manipulate this guy's positioning. Probably just let it go all the way. And yeah, because the issue here is that I am not exactly sure on how to get back into the various services running the game. Let's figure this out. Yeah, because currently I don't see a good way to go to that location. I think the only thing we can do is actively transform this dog into a cabinet. One way to do it is perhaps to have something here. So you see this dog here in the central segment. In fact, I think I get it. That if you manage to raise that gate and lead all the way here, then we have a way to trap the middle dog such that moving the lamp is just going to force it into a position where it must transform. First of all, though, we need to erase this. And the way we do that is to probably go all the way back to the beginning. If it's convenient to do so, it might not be. Yeah, because it's this room here where I want to make sure I use the 7 different, or is it more than 7? I think it's a lot more than 7 different tarot types accurately. Yeah, so we need the dog to come over here. The way that we'll do it is by dropping in and leading the target. Yeah, it seems like we've hit a little bit of a snag here. Just a bit of tunnel vision along the way. Okay. We know that the bottom is going to affect all of this to come. Let's maybe release this first of all. Hang on. Or nope, you can't just redefine your conditions on the fly. Yeah, I really need to get it down here. Did we neglect to check something up top? Probably not. I think we have a general idea. Well, I mean, I should be squeezing this guy. And then just raising this. Let's see what was so difficult about this is actually pretty straightforward by the looks of things. Except it's going to release that position. Yeah, I need to figure out some way to just freeze it entirely. Okay. Yeah, I think I do need to let it tail me all the way to the left side. Then we drop. But then I need that to remain in position. And I'm not sure there was a good way to do that. And the P. Liger, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, it has been a while. Yeah, streaming has been a little bit uneven lately. I'm doing a fair bit of it, of course, but just on a bit of a scattered schedule. Anyway, dog is going to come all the way here. He's going to land on this switch. We come back up. Yeah, that'll be fine as long as it stays compressed. The issue is whether that switch will actually stay activated as is. I think it's a bit of a tall order. A couple of things in this game are time sensitive, so we may as well try just to see. As you can see, yeah, no, this is going to get out much too quickly. What kind of game is this? Yeah, it is puzzly. fairly linear series of puzzles so far. I'd been doing this at a fairly regular clip and just solving one thing after another until I reached this room. And now I think the fatigue is setting in slightly. I've been on this room for quite a while now, actually, relative to everything before it. And I'm probably missing something very obvious in the sequence. I think I actually need to create a little bit more room with this lamp. Yeah, because now what we can do is... Oh, except now it's no longer hitting this switch. Okay. It's wrong then. Go down past the bottom. So right now I'm thinking that we actually need to take the top left as the exit. And I'm trying to get past the robot guard dog that is on the 3rd level from the bottom. And I know how to shine a light on him, so here's one of the central mechanics of the game, is that you can transform these into furniture just by putting them under the light. So I want to do something like that, and I want the dog in the middle there to be trapped here. And I don't want it to move. Now, is there a way to trap that with some kind of switch that I didn't see earlier? I'm not totally convinced that that is the case. We need some way for the dog to remain in this position while I go back up and do everything else. We know how to get around and raise this gate. I can probably try it again just to provide a quick proof of concept for some of these applications here. Nope. Nope, that's just completely impermanent. Let's think about this. Yeah, I may be much too tired to solve this properly. Yeah, I definitely want to use the lamp in such a way that allows me to get into that position. I think I need to trap the middle dog to the left of the gate. That's how we're going to do it. Oh, except now that's trapped. That's okay, because as soon as the dog gets out of position, then that should come down, yeah. So the question is, where does the dog reposition itself? It's going to go back there, good. That's fine, actually, because what I want to do now is I want to create the trap. And then I just squeeze this. There we go. That's what I wanted. And yeah, don't worry about the backseating. Yeah, that was fairly simple. I don't know why I was staring at this one for so long. And yeah, a lot of this is just all repositioning puzzles. Okay, this one looks interactive. Let's see what this is. It looks like we have access to a sword and a shield. Let's wind up some clockwork. Oh, whoops. So there are a certain number of parts. I'm trying to reposition the shield. I lost. Okay. Let's try this again. this little clockwork minigame that's happening here. Okay. No, I need to position. Whoops. Oh, there we go. A palpable hit. And let's see if I can get him out of position. I just need to shield every attack if I can until I have the opportunity to give him a poke. And then we will try to take one more point off of him. We're gonna have to wait for the opening to attack, though. I think I can't really do much otherwise. Okay, so we'll get the trophy for this as well. And he's been vanquished, not perfectly, but close enough. And thank you for the GG. Yeah, so this is just a lift. And what are we doing here? Just going over. Ah, yeah, this is where we were previously. We go down, we take the lift, and then we continue. Okay. Interesting artwork all over here. Looks like it's a whole series of Connect family portraits almost. Anyway, they're still looking for the book. The book is still incorrect. They're still arguing about it all day, and a book falls on top of the dog. Now that looks promising. The guy seems to think that we can make this work out. And he notices me for the first time, and so he's asking me to get the book, I guess. The art style reminds you of Braid. Yeah, that's an interesting comparison, actually, just given the animation on the faces in particular, and how the bodies are kind of rigged together. So, yeah, I've played a couple of older games by this studio before, a lot of point-and-click adventures. If you've heard of Machinarium, for instance, that's one of the ones they've been best known for, I think, when it comes to the puzzle genre. But yeah, it is kind of like Braid. So we need to think about a jelly pattern now. So the objective is to get this dog out of the way. We know that jelly is capable of the push interaction if we can force it to go up the gap. We need to figure out what the switches affect. Of course, switches affect that lights. Let's check the panel. If we get something to sit on top of the panel, such that's okay. No, we know how to do that. In fact, I need to send a jelly up here. And then the jelly comes down here, and then we hit this switch, and we stop jelly in the top left. We should figure out what the other switch down here does. Seems like it just controls its own light, so we'll go over here and tap that. The jelly's going to come around and do its whole circuit. And yeah, we just steadily reposition. It's going to go up and then do nothing really. I actually need to drag the dog over here such that jelly pushes it towards the light and then goes up in the middle. So let's watch it do its loop here once more. Then we pull the dog over. Yeah, because then the jelly gets in the way of the dog, and then it is able to go up from there. And then it will go left, and then we freeze it, and that will allow me to transform the dog in the middle layer. Like that. Anyway, we've retrieved a book for this guy. And his companion has retrieved all that other stuff, and all of it's wrong. I actually kind of wonder if I did manage to pick out the correct one. He seems totally uninterested in it, so I guess not. We can't actually go up here, so let's just get all the way back down. Okay. Next puzzle. Are the birdmen on my side? Well, we seem to be cooperating. The issue right now is that there's some kind of massive creature that may also be a bird that is trying to tear down this whole place. I'm just digging. The only thing I know here is that I found this entire complex underneath my own apartment. And so I'm just following it down and seeing what happens. So the objective here should be to go all the way down to the bottom right. And yeah, so if you watch the cables tell you where various devices are connected, what switches are going to activate them. So we know, for instance, whoops. Nope, that's death. I thought I was able to just pass him on the stairs, but apparently not. No, I should have known that's not the case. He's standing quite close, actually. I think even if I go down straight, I'm unable to... No, I can get past him. Now, will the dog go all the way back when it changes position here? It doesn't, but what I can do is I can get the jelly to push it over. So it's going to push. And then we let it down like that. And then I can raise it. And if I do raise it, it's going to go on its whole loop over there. Yeah, it's generally fairly clear about what the switches are attached to. I mean, the art style does give you quite a lot to look at. It can be quite busy, so you do need to pay very close attention, but it is all visible. So I should be able to... nope. Move things in such a way that allows me to reposition the jelly. I previously, yeah, just sent it up to the next row after that, and the other thing that can be done is that, well, I currently need the dog in that position in order to hold the top right. Oh, you know what? I'm now able to do this, in fact. And I can check the top position. This is going to be new content. And as you were saying, P. Lager, sometimes it's okay to have the puzzle be... What triggers what? Yeah, I think in general, though, that's... You know, for a lot of puzzle players, the satisfaction is in figuring things out and not in the actual button presses and actually executing it, right? So the more you can solve just by looking at it with your eyes, the more you know that the solution is actually about the logic problem rather than about things like timing. There are a lot of things in this game that are timing dependent. It's not particularly tight, but you do need to watch your position relative to the various enemies and such. So what I want to do here is I want to be able to go down to the right. Oh no, you can just go down here. It's fine. And this guy's going to be totally trapped, and that's fine. It means that I can come down here. And I can just go straight down, but feels like there's a lot I haven't interacted with yet. No, I can't, because it is a massive crack. So what I want to do is I want to position the jellyfish on this row. If the jellyfish pushes to the right, then it's going to push the dog. If it pushes the dog, then I have access to the staircase as long as I follow the jelly to that position. Was the painting just lore, or was there maybe a hidden hint? I think so far they're just lore. I haven't understood anything else about them yet. I think I need to let the dog over. If I position the dog all the way to the left, then... Well, let's move the jelly first, because then I will actually have some room. So the dog on the second layer from the bottom, if I position it all the way to the left, then I can trap the jelly to move it to the bottom row. That's what I want to do. No, hang on. Yeah, I do need something to stay still here in order to do that, though. What I can do is just position the jellyfish like crazy. And yeah, you can just send it through. But what I want to do is make it come down this crack. And so I'd ideally like to lead a dog over here. The issue right now, of course, is that if I activate this, I have no way back up. And yeah, partly that's what's going on. I think the way to do it is to fall down towards all this. But I don't know how to activate this in time just yet. Because ideally, if I can get the dog over to the left, then I should be okay. Yeah, right now it's just going to do the whole push. I feel like I probably could have released the right side and then allowed the jelly to follow a totally different pattern to go all the way back upstairs. So for example, do this, and we can trap it. Now it's going to go back and forth and it's going to go up. I feel like I needed to do that a bit faster too. Make sure everything got pushed. Because the idea is that I do want to trap the jellyfish. But yeah, you need to be really quick about all this. Actually, there's no need to jump the gun on this. You can let it through with very different timing. Prioritize the meeting over the tiles. So yeah, that we know about. Okay, so let me think about whether there's something else I could do to position it. And then, is there a way to get the dog down here? Yeah, I might just be missing something really obvious. Because let me think about it. Yeah, the idea is that jellyfish has to go down. Oh, you know what? I keep thinking about it going down this gap. It doesn't need to. It can go down this gap instead. Maybe. It's going to push the dog, though. So yeah, the jellyfish can just walk back and forth here in this patrol pattern indefinitely until we do something else to reposition it. Yeah, because dog comes left. And then if I run through some of these layers, I'm not actually able to drop one level. This is the closest I can get. However, I am able to come over here and manipulate some additional positions this way. Can't wait to hear me play this thing after beating the puzzle. Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, it's sort of in the nature of the puzzle game that certain things you'll do very quickly and certain other ones not so quickly. So what do we have so far? I don't really know how to use this panel. Alright. Oh, you can't wait to hear me play, yeah, this gigantic pipe organ that we're standing over. That's a very good point, actually. Given that we have been going through music rooms and seeing all kinds of instruments. I assume you're talking about a giant pipe organ that's in the background. It's this really twisted masterpiece of instrument design. Yeah, I can't come down here. So yeah, the objective should be get the dog here. Above where I'm standing right now, in this row. So then how do I lead it? I would need to raise this. It does stay raised. No, it lowers, and so that traps me. Now, is there some way I can activate this differently to give myself a chance to get the dog across? I don't really see it. However, we can just try to do the push again. Yeah, because I've done this a few times and done that to get to the top position. But I haven't thought about how to reposition the jelly after doing any of that. Because it is very clear to me that I do need to do some kind of reposition. You see, now we're just kind of back into the same situation. However, if I trap jelly in the middle, it should be able to do a slightly different loop. Yeah, because it's going to go down, it's going to go left, and then up. And if it goes up, it doesn't let you squish, actually. I have tried squishing things previously, and it does not let you do it. Yeah, I really kind of hoped I would be able to draw this over. But so far, I'm just not seeing the looping pattern that we need on the jellyfish creature. Yeah. Because we can trap that all we want. We can raise this too. But then... you know what? If we raise it, then now it's going to come back down. Okay, this is a slight breakthrough. Yeah, because now it's going to be able to... Whoops, no, that was a mistake. I wanted to let it through, actually. I wanted to let it through to the right side, because the jelly is going to hit the light. After the jelly hits the light, then it comes down towards me. It's going to push forth, first of all, and then it's going to go to the right. Yep, no, we made progress. Dog is going to go down, which is important. Oh, you know what? We just have this right now. Okay, so that was just staring me in the face the whole time. We just need a slight reposition. And like you were saying, you're looking forward to playing the organ. We don't get to actually play the organ, unfortunately. Maybe we'll see it sound some other way. Eventually. Yeah, I don't know why I was taking that long with that one and the one before. I just had a little bit of tunnel vision for the jelly pattern, I think. Okay. Huge lamp here. Doesn't seem to be powered, but we do have some light exposed. Let's go to raise another lift. And oh! Let's get out of here. Looks like we have a bit of a cutscene interaction now. Going to show me something new involving this guy who still needs his book. Okay, so he kept something in his safe, and it is some special utility. Maybe we'll have a bit of power progression here. Okay, so I get a new item. Possibly this allows me to get past the dogs. We'll see what this is all about. This is the first kind of item progression I've received all game. Ah. Interesting. That I'm controlling the object remotely with the big green symbol on it. I think that's probably what's going on here. So yeah, this is going to be time dependent. Let's see what this is. So, if I hit this switch, whoops, let's not do that. I kind of wonder what everything here affects. I feel like that was just a light switch, but I didn't quite looking how it was bound. Okay, more jellies. And more remote control mechanisms. Now, is there a maximum range on this thing? Or no, you can just control that one anywhere you like. Which means that potentially I'd be able to, say, get over here and pull the dog. And then there we go. Alright, that guy's trapped with a clock currently. It is possible to get him out of that if I can find the appropriate switching mechanism. Well, first of all, let's take a look at this thing over here. Oh no, that's just where we came in. Now the question is, if we let go the dog, does it retreat all the way to the right, or does it stop? It stops. Right, because the pad is his origin point. Well, let's set this first fall. Bit of a tight timing here. It does seem to enforce that everything's going to be shut here when it comes to the doors. That's okay, we just want to get through here, so we turn this off. He gets off the switch. Then we get to raise this now. I should have thought about this beforehand. We're getting trapped now, so I'm gonna get stung. Yeah, I totally saw that coming. I just didn't see the pathway I was aiming for. One thing that's notable here is that I didn't actually take much advantage of this middle switch, which is going to be really important eventually if we send a jellyfish up there. So yeah, if I set it down, I need a different plan because I'm currently just going to get caught in that location. Okay, so this lowers the drawbridge. The Shelly's then able to come across. Am I able to do anything differently? Let's consider that very carefully. Yeah, well, no. I'm able to drop down here. Doesn't quite help. Possibly we just need to come back up here. Yeah, freeze something here, and that allows me to go further down the steps. So that's going to be the objective in the end. Right now what I need is a way for the jelly to go left, the drawbridge down. Then I raise the drawbridge, and then it's able to go down to the bottom layer. That's just how it came in. Yeah, because the jellyfish goes to the left. Currently, yeah, I guess the Oscars are only available, well, or whatever equivalent telecast is only available once we manage all of the switches accordingly. Let's see here. This is connected to the top. If I lower the drawbridge, where do I go? That's the issue right now. Is that I don't have a good exit plan. And because the moat is completely covered. Yeah, if I let the jellyfish through, then how do I get off this level? That's the thing that's tricky. You have an idea? I'll hold it for the moment. Maybe I'll ask you about that in a second. But well, I mean, the central concept here is that I need to start using remote switching. Remote switching is going to allow me to trap the dog on the bottom. That's exactly what we had done previously, though, so not actually going to be that helpful yet, except, oh, I think I know. Here's how we're going to do it. I'm going to use the left side as a safety location. And here's how we're going to do that. If I release this, well, I can, but things are still a little bit out of order. I need to probably trap the dog again down below. So I want to be standing here when the dog gets trapped. I think that's the idea. So how do you trap the dog? Well, there's the light fixture we've been using so far. No, I'm going to get stung, but I was hoping to shut that door and trap myself in that room using the fact that I can do a remote activation on that spot. But the thing is, if I do the remote activation, I do need this to be vacated and emptied out when I try it. So far, nothing. I think I want to, well, eventually get down there. We do need to trap something here, but would be a good spot for an eventual home conversion. Let's see, because if it goes to the left side, and then how do I actually release the dog and then get it back onto the panel such that I'm able to trap myself in a ride. The alternative thing is that here... Well, I mean, that has to be one of the last steps, I think. Just given that the objective is to go down to the bottom right as soon as possible. But if that's the case, why am I doing all that? When what I should be doing is sending the jelly to the top level. Tricky. Yeah, because you have to understand all these different versions of things as you go. Well, if we can do the remote deactivation, I think this is how we do it. I actually want the dog to be slightly to the left. So the positioning is going to matter because I'm going to push it off the switch like that. Hey, success chime. So here's what's going to happen. The dog is going to go back in position gradually. And then, yeah, now I release this. There we go. There we go. Oh, no. Made a mistake. I forgot to reactivate. Okay. No, that is the way, though. Yeah, P-Legra, I guess, if that was your idea, that was correct. You got that well ahead of me. Okay. Yeah, I just wasn't watching the geometry of the switch here. That was entirely the problem here. But I want to reactivate the dog when it's on top of the panel. Yeah, I'm playing a little worse than usual today, I think, when it comes to the puzzle solving. But that comes and goes. Anyway, let's trap the dog first. Then we have this guy reflect. Go down the passage. He's actually going to go up. If I reflect that. And then I want to trap the jelly on top of the panel. And then I can trap the dog once again. Yeah. Now it's simple. And thank you for the GG. Oh. Getting to be a rather big crowd down there. So these are new characters to me. Now on the right looks like a bit of a handyman. Trying to fix up this whole place. Anyway, I think none of them can find a relevant book except, okay, now he thinks it's the correct one. At long last. Well, he seems absolutely elated. so this is the guy who's been ripping down the whole structure. He's going to lose the book again, just watch. Don't really know what the book is for yet, but it seems to be a route to his salvation, so... Well, they've definitely seen better days. That massive thing is still just wrecking the whole place. Oh, back up we go. Real maze, this whole place. Let's just take this... Oh, I feel like I actually could have gone to the left there. I do want to go back down and check that. I don't know if that is anything. Well, let's just check it briefly. I mean, we haven't been finding much that is optional in this game other than some of those paintings and automata. Just want to jump over. Yeah, that is something. And okay, looks like somebody else with a music stand. Ah, okay, he's using the stalactites as a mallet instrument. Very accomplished musical culture all around this civilization of theirs. You're guessing the book contains the key to getting rid of the big bad? Yeah, I think that's what it's working towards. I think it's a very reasonable guess. Okay, up we go. Alright. So, we know from earlier that we can make flowers bloom. Can't really do much of that yet, though, given that we need the dog in this position. Okay, that's the remote activation down there. That's going to be important. Can't really do anything other than activate this guy right now, so we'll do that, get him back into the light. And we just come up here just now. I think we actually did. Well, this guy's just going to stand here and get in my way for a while before he retreats. When he does retreat, I don't actually have a plan. I'm quite premeditated. What should naturally come next? I think we just need to get him to lose attention for a moment. Yeah, because do you follow him? Oh, no. Never mind. So yeah, I saw some of this. Ah, no, maybe this is actually a way to progress. We haven't actually seen this as a segment. Okay, so now we're on the bottom layer. And we know how to activate that. Just thinking ahead to what my objective is going to be once more. And yeah, thank you P-Legger for the lurk. Glad to have you here as always. I'm unlikely to finish this today, but I will probably be continuing it tomorrow's stream as well. Assuming I have the energy for it. Today I may even cut off a little bit earlier than usual, just because I am clearly flagging a little bit. Anyway, we can go up here, or we can take any of these individually. So the idea will be to lead the top right guy first. Yeah, there's going to be a whole sequence of switches here. So yeah, we wait for bottom right to release. Okay. Okay, that's gonna freeze that. It only gives me that additional tile up top. Oh, I see, because then you can get the dog on a top level to turn into a statue. But in order to do that, we need to reposition a whole lot of stuff at once. So for example, if I position this guy, that's going to constrain the top over here. Let's check all these switches first, just so we know what we're dealing with. Okay. Whoops, too close. Didn't mean to do that. Yeah, so the idea here is to find a sequence of switches such that I'm able to trap the dog on a top level and have it remain there long enough for me to go all the way up. So we need to position a whole bunch of things at once. Now, remind me what this guy does. Yeah, that's the switch up top. So we just need to find the order. That makes sense. And the order will be dependent on my ability to activate the left side switch manually. But yeah, top left controls and traps the bottom right. Bottom right traps top right. This guy here just kind of does its own thing. Right, because you can just trap him that way. Yeah, need to do top left before this. I'm just thinking about the whole sequence here. And before everything gets pieced together, you also need the guy on the top row to have wandered all the way to the right without backing off, which is going to be a tall order. Let's just check once again. Yeah, bottom right defends top right. Top right pretty much goes as is. There's a lot of puzzles inside this puzzle. So, suppose we do that. And trap that guy. Trap all of that. The problem is that we didn't do the top side accurately. So we managed to trap 3 out of 4. This is the right idea, though. I think we are reasonably close. Okay, well, if you let go of this switch on the bottom left, then it keeps tumbling down. So, the one who said that the top left, sorry, top right is going to do it. Yeah, a lot of them, these countries seem to be going for some kind of natural approach. Let's try to remember controls top right. Okay. Okay, let's see if I actually remember the order that I'm going to be going for. Let's actually see what the timing is going to be like on making sure that the flap over things like the chat policy on the designer's side has been a little bit conflict prone. I should actually just focus on the puzzle here. Not really speaking too conveniently about everything that's going on, but I think we just need to go all the way back up. Like I was saying, we do need to trap this guy to this position here. And now that we've done that, yeah, I don't think it remains in position for very long. Let's see. Issue is that a very restless creature already walking back. So the question is, how do we get that fast enough? I think I do know. What it is we can trap this. Yeah, because then we can trap that again, eventually. But with my own timing. Okay, I should have waited for bottom right first before that signal. Okay, going to drop that there. Yeah, just need to see how we can do it. I mean, technically, What does this even do? Okay, yeah, we can afford to... Up top left, really should be taking notes for some of this stuff, I think. That's part of the issue here. That I kind of understand the general shape of the constraint satisfaction problem that we have in terms of finding the order that's going to work for everything, but yeah, we have one remote office experiment. Let's see here, still unsure about what I'm going to do for positioning that, but basically when you have the double activation here, it's going to trap that guy. Yeah, he's going to claim that every time. It's never really going to work. Well, let's wait for the bottom dog to retract first. So this is pretty positionally a little bit fuzzy. Then we'll just go our way to try to secure this. Okay. Well, everything is fine except for how long it takes to get back up for the undergraduate prize. Yeah, because everything is just going to revert back into position. Really need that guy to run all the way across here. And stay. Yeah, because we need in that position. I wonder if there's any faster way to do the traversal on the way back down. It seems like that's just going to add far too much time. As you can see, we did already see earlier, the guy just walks back. However, here's one thing I hadn't considered. The fact that this ladder goes all the way... no, it doesn't go all the way up. Never mind. Now, is there anything to interact with other than the order here? I don't think so. Yeah, because dog is going to walk across. It's going to take its time relatively. But then the idea is that I want to activate this whole elaborate trap at once. Yeah, we can just position this guy. I have to remember what's bound to what. Top left, defense bottom right. yeah, that's just gonna jump that. Yeah, if at that point I can just constrain everything. You know, just so I do a couple of partial setups for each of these positions and just cascade them in all at once. Let's see it. Because it is something that's kind of timing sensitive with the activation of that switch in the bottom left. And so I would need to move the cabinet over to the right when that is able to freeze the guy in the top right. Okay. Let's check first of all. Yeah. So that's what I want to happen. But to do it all when the guy in the top layer is trapped, that's much trickier. Yeah, because that guy's going to run over to the right side. And everything's going to disperse. Yeah, there's some particular order where you just need everybody to be trapped in a mutual deadlock. I think the idea, though, is that I don't need to freeze that location yet. Interestingly enough, it stays for a certain amount of time. So if you look at the valve that's connected to that switch, it is a time switch, such that if you hit the switch and leave it, it remains active for a certain amount of time until, yeah, we do that. We'll trap that. And that guy's going to get trapped down there. He's going to walk back by the time I actually manage to go up, though. That's okay, because if I set up a deadlock... Yeah, those dogs really do. I've been on this puzzle for way too long. It's really not that hard. It's just like... I know roughly what the order should be. But setting up the timing using the manual switch I have on the bottom left is something else entirely. So yeah, once again, let's try to set this up. Yeah, time switch on that. Yeah, eventually just want to freeze that guy on top. The question is that I don't really have a good way to activate the one that is on top. Yeah, the timer on that just isn't really very generous. Because it takes a long time to get between the bottom and the top level, and so You would not only need to freeze everybody in position, but you would need the manual switch to get everybody to cascade into the correct positions. Which, if you manage to keep everybody still, that's okay. But will I be able to do that? I mean, if I have the top spotlight, which is activated on the top right, sort of active in a longer term basis. What does that mean? Let's see here. Yeah, let's try to reactivate this. I think if you create a situation where everybody is trapped on top of the switches, then you're okay, except for the activation of the guy on top. Because currently, let's just try to reset out of this. If I can figure out how, I think we just need to hit the switch, the one that's remote. And this is still kind of released. Let's see here. Need to catch him on the walk back. Let's just get it on top of the panel directly. Okay. Yeah, I had my doubts about this being the solution. Anyway, everybody's going to be trapped, but the issue is guy in a top spot. Yeah, Mr. Dubs is alright. How are you? Yeah, playing this puzzle a little bit poorly, mostly because I'm like quite tired here, but now here's the thing, am I able to reactivate that switch? Yes, actually. So, no, here's how it's going to work. Here's how it's going to work. Just a very minor adjustment. As you can see, the whole deadlock is going to hold as long as I set it up in the correct order. But we don't actually need the top guy on a switch just yet. Made a new maker level yesterday. Okay, congratulations. Hoping to see it soon. Okay, let's just turn this off once again. And let's just trap the guy on the top right. Oh, I see. So, even when I'm remaining on a center platform, I continue dragging that guy here, so. That's an important property of the center platform that I had not really thought about. The fact that and they are still trying to run towards me constantly, even though they can't get over the gap. Am I going to play any Mario today? No, not today. I will be back to viewer levels next weekend, hopefully, but I am moving my streaming setup this week to a temporary location that's going to be a bit different, and so hoping to get it all set up again by Friday. I've been doing these indie games in place of the usual extra Mario Maker streams lately, so... But yeah, we're still planning to do viewer levels and such on a regular basis. That has not changed. Okay, let's trap all four. Yeah. This is really... I've said this with, I think, the other two puzzles that I was struggling a bit with earlier as well, but the interaction seems simple. It's just that... could be a little more attentive to all this. So here's how we position this guy. I take advantage of the fact that as long as I stand right in front of him, I'm okay. And then I release everything. And then the guy in the top right of it will eventually traverse over his switch. And that's going to hit the pressure switch that gives me a limited amount of time to trap this guy. Finally. Okay, I started that for way too long. Should have gone a lot better. Anyway, let's watch the mountain climber, or the ladder climber. Play this little music box. But yeah, it was just a timing adjustment on the last level, and the insight was that the pressure switch has that timed release, which allows me to not worry too much about the top right guy just now not staying on his panel for very long. So until I realized that, I think I was running around in circles for no good reason. Well, let's see what we can do here. So yeah, each of these towers are animal themed in some way. We just left the bird tower. And yeah, let's try to do one or two more rooms. We're back to the organ chamber, actually. That's what this is. I'm able to trap this guy. Let's see if I remember how any of this works. Right, because I think I needed to push this guy into the right panel using the jellies. I think so, anyway. I mean, that's just where it came from before, but... we'll see. Might be a few different things here this time. Okay, gonna sneak around that. The remote deactivation is going to drop that door. This guy's not going to go back very far. can do is, if I release the switch mechanism here, let's try that. So yeah, that's going to move around until eventually it's going to come up this way. Whoops. Yeah, because the idea is to deflect, except not quite working here. Okay, if my objective is to get to the top right, then what I can do is trap this. Trap it like this. It's not quite active yet, but now I need to find some way to raise the jelly by layer. I don't see that yet because of these additional one-tile overhangs everywhere, just preventing it from stopping where I like. However, if I'm able to... yeah, no, I remember this now. Oh, whoops. My mistake. Didn't go fast enough. I was going to go up to the top and wrap around the right side. And then lead the dog into the gates. So, we'll be able to do that. It's not difficult. That guy's going to activate. And then we bring it down this way. And then now I can close the other gate like that. And that's actually all I need, I think. Just want to go back to this painting here. I know we've seen this one. Pretty sure. Or have I? No, this might be new, actually. I've seen enough go on today and still have no context for what kind of clues the painting is giving me. Ah, here's the thing. I'm going to use the gates to lift myself up now. The dog's going to walk and it's going to lift me up. So that's the first time I've actually done a lift on top of a gate like that. So that's reasonably satisfying. Anyway, down we go. Okay. Well, let's check your location first. Okay, onto the ledge. And then now we are going to look ahead to where the book has gone this time. Okay. No, it's not one of the green light ones, but we do get to see this panel here. And is this one interactive? It looks like it might be. Ah. So I get to control the stick in this one. Oh, it's a sort of hide and seek game, okay. So the idea is I can stealth through each tree, and I just make it through to the end. Okay, so yeah, it's literally a prototypical stealth game. Yeah, same idea here, we just need to wait for that. And we just wait for them to turn. And the princess is possibly still in another castle. Okay, so long as I'm not moving while they are facing my direction, should be okay. So you need them to face the other way, if possible. Oh, whoops. Nope, failed it. Okay, let's try it again. Okay, we do get to start from this segment. Okay, making a fair bit of progress. We just need to let them cross over, I think. Okay, wait until they face left. And we've got it. And thank you for the GG. Yeah, really liking these concepts so far for the prototypical video games that we have all over this place for the entertainment of the bird people. Okay, we have, once again, the Jellyfish Patrol route. And, see, momentarily saying, as far as that remark goes, when I first started streaming, maybe I told you this before, but when I first started streaming, I think it was Terminator Mode, the guy who's always submitting, you know, sword escort levels and such into Mario Maker streams, he was telling me that apparently I sounded like Bird Person from Rick and Morty, which I had at that point never seen. And so I had to look that up and see just how accurate that was. Let's try to go all the way back at the top before we try to do the bottom segment. Like I said, this is a big new area, so I may not be staying on stream for too long today. I don't always get the reference. I get by with enough here to fake it every now and then. There's a lot of stuff that you just learn on the side as a streamer, just for the sake of interacting with the chat. I feel like there's a... Oh, no, we're gonna get trapped. We're gonna get trapped. I am dead. Yeah, because he's gonna do his circuit here. Yeah, like I said, like I always say, if NPR somehow is interested in running a Mario Maker program, I'd be up for it, but it didn't really seem like that was the kind of thing they're into. Okay, let's plan this out first of all. If I do lower that, then what is my escape? Because the jellyfish is going to go all the way to the right side. I don't think I can do that yet. I think I have to go back here and I have to take a look at that switch that's in the middle. Yeah, this is new content here. I think the idea will be to eventually freeze something on this location, which will involve deactivating this light and turning it on when the jellyfish is actually here. So, for example, yeah, so if we can get to this location, then yeah, then we're safe, because I'm able to hit this switch, stand here, and the jellyfish goes up after it does the loop. Duryogotos, it is National Public Radio. It's the major public broadcaster that's in the United States. By any chance, when I listen to it, not being in the US, the thing I know most about NPR is actually a show that doesn't run anymore but used to run for about 30 years, was Marion McPartland's Piano Jazz, where Marion McPartland was one of the most important jazz pianists to have come from England to the United States. She actually just died a few years ago, but what she would do was on NPR she would be interviewing other musicians, but also playing duets with them during the show. And so it's actually one of the most important documents of interview sessions with a great number of musicians, and just a really tremendous archive of material. This guy's going to go down, and then I want to probably trap him again over there. Somehow, yeah. So for example, let's say I trap him like this. That's not going to do much for me, actually. Apart from giving me some time to think, because what I want to do is I want to raise this segment here. It seems to be connected to some other cable that I'm not seeing. I have to read the cables fairly closely here. On NPR some time ago, talking about the Great Molasses Flood in Boston. Okay, that's interesting. I don't think I know anything about that. But that does sound kind of intriguing. Okay, so now I can step around this guy. It's still not opening up the left side here, though. I don't think it opens up now that I look at it. But we want this guy to do a loop. What I can do is, if he runs around, he's going to go back. He's going to go right. And then I trap it against a light. Yeah. So this is the whole point here, is I freeze it, and then I'm able to raised a drawbridge once again before I reactivate its pattern. So it's going to walk, it's going to do a loop, it's going to go down to center and to the left. And then at that point I trap it on top of the other switch. I'm pretty sure that's how it's going to work. Yeah, it's going to go down to the left. And then we oh, didn't expect it to go all the way down there. Okay, that was a bit of a wrench in our plans. I didn't think that it was going to go to the bottom like that. So what can I do about that? I mean, I definitely want it in this location, I think, because that'll allow me to go down. But in order to do that, I would need to force it down in a different location entirely. Yeah, because let's say it's going to go down center the way it's been doing. I need to restrict its space by one additional tile, if I can somehow. No, I lowered the drawbridge and prevented it from coming up. Oh, whoops. Okay, I need to get out of here. No, I'm going to be trapped once again, but... No, I know what to do. I needed to lower the drawbridge on top of it as it's making its way back up. So, yeah, I understand this. I just got a little bit trapped there. Oh, I need to release it to begin with. Let's do that. Okay, we're gonna hit this. And it's going to let me out when it goes back up. Okay, that's fine. Now that's going to do the whole loop here. It's going to go backwards. Oh no, I needed to, yeah, trap it down there. And because that is what allows me to raise the drawbridge around it. Okay. Now, same idea, except execute it properly this time. I'm going to release this, and then when it goes to my left, I'm going to follow it down and then trap it under the drawbridge. Because then when it comes up, it's going to go left. Nope, let's wait for it to go further. And then we proceed. a lot to do here. Let's take a look at the section. Yeah, nothing we can do about any of this yet. That will eventually be something. I mean, I am able to drop down there right now. I just don't know where we're going to attempt that yet, or just check. Whatever's going on to the right side. How was I even navigating this? Yeah, actually that's fine. And I should be able to just drop in by myself as a more familiar shortcut if need be. Not at all, actually, except yeah, it just needs a down here. Yeah, the other switch is going to activate the other side of the moat. Let's check this. No, this is just where I came in. Yeah, some visual memory from time to time actually does help. Okay, let's drop in. So, this is the mechanism that's manually activated. We probably just used that to move the dogs between compartments. Looks like the idea here is going to be to move some of them to the center. And we should figure out what they actually activate. Additional lights, it is going to be symmetrical. Okay, objective here is going to be to head out the bottom left by the looks of it, which means finding some way to activate that lift. Presumably also just getting onto it. Okay. We need to... actually, no, it's just going to be bottom left. We go at the bottom left. The way we do it is just by setting up a decent number of traps in order to make sure that everything gets turned into a statue. The other thing is that we will be able to raise and lower this gate as necessary. So, I think the idea will be... yeah, we need to get both of these in statue form. Now, interestingly enough, I think it's possible... no, it's not that much of a line of sight blocker. Okay, so if we have the dog on one end chase me over, for instance. Yeah, it's just going to stop in one particular location like that. So for example, if I did this, it's going to stop at a very different point. You know, just to show off a small example of this that is deliberately extreme. So for example, let's say we trap that. I don't think I actually want to trap it. What I can do... no. I do want to trap it, because that allows me to actually push into it with the light. Which I wasn't able to do otherwise. I don't think so, anyway. Okay, pull this guy. Yeah, that's pretty much going to be it. In fact, I can even push this a little further and apply the exact same trick. Except it's not going to be able to go all the way over. We need to give it a little bit of room to get over the fence. Or the potential fence. I see that I'm going to run into a little bit of an issue here. Let's push this guy in slightly. Okay. Now we've got it. Okay, now that location is completely secure, or should be. Okay, nice to do one efficiently for once after a couple of disasters earlier on. And then we lower this. Okay, so we've created the bridge over to the next giant structure. Let's see what this is all about. Well, totally different biome or building now. That's new. Mildly threatening, but only mildly. And it's actually going to be a clone that follows my movements, I think. Very interesting. Now, since we're getting into some very new material here, I think at this point I am probably going to save this for the next stream. I don't know if I'm on pace to be doing it in 2 streams. Hopefully I am. I mean, I took way too long with certain rooms earlier on today. But, yeah, we'll just maybe have this to look forward to. Let the music play for just a little bit while we wind down, so. Possibly decent progress today. We got through a couple of zones. Saw some of the paintings. Spent far too long on certain puzzles that just kind of padded out half the stream, but that's going to happen, so. In terms of immediate plans, hoping to get back to this in tomorrow's stream. This might be the only Indian that we run this week. Just given that I will be off for a couple of days. But then we will be back. And we'll be back for even more. So. We have a small enough audience today that I don't know if I'll be scanning around for a raid, but I might take a look regardless. In the meantime, though, well, let's just call it for the time being. Might look around anyway, but thanks for watching. We'll continue to rest tomorrow and hopefully wrap it up. And you take care as well. So have a good morning, good night, or just a generally well-rested day that is more conducive to puzzle solving than whatever it was I was doing on my end. And, as always, fare thee well.